Crypto G here with a thought of the day. Don't let crypto run your life. Crypto has a way of taking over your life and becoming an obsession. No matter how much crypto you have, you always feel like you don't have enough. No matter how many crypto assets you hold, you're always afraid that you're not holding the right stuff. The first thing you have to do is simply accept the fact that you're going to miss some pumps because you can't hold everything. Something that you've never heard of is going to pump and you're not going to be holding it. You got to accept that. Second thing you've got to accept is not everything you're holding is going to pump. Some stuff you're expecting to moon and it's going to fall to the ground. It's going to go into deep correction and consolidation. Matter of fact, some of the stuff that you're holding is probably going to die. You just got to accept that. And the third thing you've got to accept is that even the stuff that does pump, some of the assets that do pump are not going to pump as high as you thought they would pump or hoped they would pump. You just got to accept that. But the final thing that you have to accept, and this is the benefit, this is what makes it all worth it, is that some of the stuff that you're holding is going to pump far beyond where you thought it would go. And that's going to make up for the stuff that you thought would pump and didn't. It's also going to make up for the stuff that you wish you were holding but aren't or weren't. FOMO will cause you to buy into every pump, and then FUD will cause you to drop the stuff that you got to buy into the next pump. And then as soon as you drop the stuff that you got to buy in the next pump, the stuff that you got's going to pump. And the stuff that you bought is going to correct. And so if you can just accept those four premises, stuff's going to pump that you're not holding, stuff that you're holding is not going to pump, stuff that pumps that you're holding is not going to pump as far as you thought it would pump, but some stuff that does pump that you're holding is going to pump way beyond your wildest expectation. It's going to go far beyond where you thought it was going to go. And that's going to make all the difference. And if you simply accept that, you can take a step back, you can take some deep breaths, and you can come back to your center. If you don't accept those things, you're going to become obsessed with crypto. And you're going to give your life to crypto. And giving your life to crypto is the worst thing that you could possibly do. Crypto is a tool. It's not the goal. It's a tool. It's like a carpenter focusing his whole life on his hammer. This hammer is the best hammer. Do I have the right hammer? Let me research hammers. Let me see, is there a better hammer? And then, I better get rid of this hammer and get a better hammer. Pretty soon he's got a whole collection of hammers. He's got 40 hammers and he inspects his hammers every day and he's looking at his hammers without thinking, what's the hammer supposed to do? How is the hammer supposed to function? Crypto is a tool. But what is the work that crypto is supposed to empower in your life? And that is your life mission. But I've talked about your mission before. What I haven't talked about is your purpose. You see, your mission is the what of your life. What is your life supposed to accomplish? And crypto is a tool that empowers your mission. It's one of many tools that empowers your life mission. And making your life about your mission gives meaning to your crypto investments. This is why I have this channel. It's why I talk to you. It's why I have my Patreon. It's why I do these videos. Because I don't want my life to be about crypto, simply about the profits that I can get from crypto. That inward focused life, it's all about me and what I can get and what I can have. It robs me of meaning. It leaves me in a pit of despair and angst. And at the end of the day, I'm empty. No matter how much my crypto pumps, my life is empty. But if I can give something away, if I can make somebody's life better, if I can encourage somebody else, if I can communicate care, if I can help other people fulfill their dreams and reach their goals, well, that gives meaning to my crypto profits. And that's great. It gives me a mission, something to go after, something to reach for, something to seek to accomplish with my life, to make the world a better place, to add value to the lives of others. Warren Buffett said, you can get whatever you want if you help enough other people get whatever they want first. So prioritizing helping others, encouraging others, that's great. That empowers the mission of my life. But your purpose is different. Your purpose and your mission are radically different. Your mission is what your life is supposed to accomplish or contribute to the world. Your mission is what you're going to do, the ultimate contribution you're going to make to the world, what you're going to do to make the world a better place. But your purpose is the why of your existence. Why do you exist? That's different from saying, what are you going to do? And I think most people confuse their mission and their purpose. They think that their purpose is their mission. And then if your mission fails, you feel completely worthless as a human being. If your mission fails, you feel like you're a failure. You begin to identify yourself according to your work. So if you think your purpose is to make huge crypto profits so that you can provide this for your family, so that you can start this business, so that you can own this property, whatever it is, if you think that's your purpose, and then the crypto market goes into deep correction and all of your hopes and dreams fail in that regard, then you feel like you failed, that you're worthless as a person, and that's completely wrong. I think we need to escape the functional definition of purpose. In other words, you don't exist to do something. I don't believe that your purpose is a function, that the reason why you're on this earth is to fulfill some function. Believing that, it leads to a life of anxiety, frustration, unfulfillment, dissatisfaction. I believe that your purpose is relational, your mission is functional. Your mission is something you do, but your purpose, your reason for existing, is love. And I want you to think about it this way. My wife and I, we were married. We've been married 21 years. We were barren for the first 9 years of our marriage. We could not conceive a child. We wanted a child so bad. We wept and we prayed for 9 years. Well, really for 8 years. Because towards the end of the 8th year, suddenly we discovered we were pregnant. It was the most joyful time. It was the most amazing time. It was crazy because I was out of the country at the time. Well, we discovered we were pregnant on November 3rd or November 4th, 2008. Yeah. And I had to leave the country the next day. My wife was supposed to go with me, but she was having morning sickness so bad. And I remember I was out of the country and I got a text from her. I was in China actually at the time. I got a text from her that the doctor said she had a miscarriage. And I was just devastated. And I got on my knees to pray. And God spoke to me and said, your wife has not had a miscarriage. Had she had a miscarriage, I would have released the grace to walk through a miscarriage. But your wife has not had a miscarriage, so I haven't released that grace. When you get home, put your hand on your wife's womb and pray and speak life, and I'll give life to your child. I got home from my trip about 8 days later. My wife was still writhing in pain. I put my hand on her womb and I prayed. I felt the power of God come down on her womb. The next day, we went back to the same OBGYN that told her she had had a miscarriage. She did the ultrasound, and there on the screen came up this beautiful little embryo, less than the size of half of a peanut. But there was a little heartbeat. And when I saw that heartbeat, I melted. I just melted into a puddle, and I started to weep. I just cried, and I cried, and I cried, oh, it's my baby, it's my baby. And I cried for like 2 weeks after that. We'd be driving in the car, and I would say, baby, where do you want to go for lunch? And I'd start crying. And she's like, why are you crying about lunch? I'm like, it's my baby's alive, my baby's alive. And we wept, and we wept, and we wept. There was so much joy. But the question is, why was I so joyful? Why was there so much joy that I couldn't keep from crying for weeks? Why was there so much joy the day my daughter was born and I held her in my arms for the first time? Why? Because, in other words, what's the purpose? What's the purpose? Why does a parent want to have a child? Why did we want a child so bad and feel so much joy when she was born? So she could grow up and be a doctor or a lawyer? Was that the purpose of having a child? So she could grow up and be a doctor or a lawyer? So that she could become rich? So she could learn to read charts? No. The purpose, the reason we wanted to have a child, so we could love her. Her purpose, the reason she exists, is to be the object of our love. And she used to ask me when she was young, Daddy, what do you want me to be when I grow up? I don't care. I want you to be whatever you want to be. Well, would you be sad if I didn't do this? Or would you be sad if I... No, I wouldn't be sad. I don't care what you do. Pick a mission and go after it with all your heart. But your purpose, the reason you exist, just let me love you. That's all. If you come home and let me love you, I'll be happy. Can I say something to you? Your purpose, the reason you exist, is love. And what tends to happen is we get obsessed with things like crypto. We get obsessed with where the market is going. We get obsessed with obtaining all of the right coins and possessing all of the right coins. And then the next thing you know, I'm spending so many hours in the charts and watching YouTube videos and learning and listening and discovering and trying to pick the right stuff that I neglect my family. And I don't have love to give to my wife or to my daughter, to my children. And I'm snappy with them. And I'm not sleeping in peace at night, and I'm not waking in joy in the morning, and so I'm not walking in love during the day. But at the end of the bull run, I've got huge profits. I fulfilled my mission, but I failed at my purpose. I'd rather fulfill my purpose and fail at my mission than fulfill my mission and fail at my purpose. As a believer in Jesus Christ, what this all means to me is that my purpose, your purpose, I believe that your purpose, the reason you exist, is to be the object of God's love. He didn't create you to do something. He created you so that he could love you. He didn't put you on this planet to accomplish something. He put you on this planet so that he could love you. And the moment you open your heart to receive his love, what I would say is through his son, Jesus Christ, you're fulfilling your purpose. That's the reason. Just walking in his love, being loved by him every day. And so my personal daily process is sifting through the many anxieties that separate my heart from the love of God. Sifting through the many anxieties that separate my heart from the love of my wife. Sifting through the many anxieties that separate my heart from the love of my daughter, so that I can walk in love. I can love them, they can love me. I can receive love, I can give love. I went through this in the fall of 2017 when I first got into crypto trading. I ended up spending 10 to 12 hours a day in the charts. I was the most miserable human being you ever wanted to meet. And at the end of it, by the end of that year, I was a horrible trader. By the end of that year, I was down 75%. 75% in the negative of my initial investment during a period when Bitcoin spiked 500%. So Bitcoin went from 4,000 to 20,000 that year. And I put in, 12,000. And by the end of the year, I had like 3,000. And spending 10 to 12 hours a day in the charts to be 75% in the negative. That's slavery. Bitcoin wasn't paying me, I was paying Bitcoin. I was working for crypto. I was working for crypto. My whole life had been wrapped up in crypto. I'd given my life to crypto. I'd sacrificed my family for crypto. I had to do a hard reset in 2018. And I went through the whole thing again in 2019. Had to do a hard reset. And it wasn't till the end of 2019, going into 2020, that, my heart settled. I came to myself and realized crypto will not be my master. Crypto will not replace my family. And you know what I found? Is that this path of peace and of love is so much more profitable than the path of angst and frustration and obsession. Because love never fails. Love never fails. So I just wanted to encourage you today. That's my sermon. I just wanted to encourage you today. Don't work for crypto. Let crypto work for you. Don't be anxious about crypto. Don't be obsessed with it. Just accept the fact. Some of the stuff you got, it's not going to pump at all, ever. Some of the stuff you got is going to pump, but not as far as you thought. And there's going to be some stuff that pumps that you're not holding. That's going to piss you off. But some of the stuff you got is going to pump beyond your wildest expectation, and that's going to make up for the other three. And so if you can just accept that, come back to your center and say, can't control that. But what I can do is embrace that and focus on doing whatever I have to do to walk in love so that I can sleep in peace and wake in joy. That's a life worth living. All right, do me a favor, smash that like button, subscribe button, leave me a comment. Remember, this is not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I appreciate each and every one of you. This is Cryptogenic, signing out.